What's up, everybody? Craig Scheller with Scheller Outdoor Living. At the end of last year, in 2020, we completed a porcelain paver patio on open graded base. Now, I get a lot of questions on installation on open graded base with porcelain, so I thought I would document the job. We did a little bit of real-time action as well as some time lapse, kind of showing the processes that we went through to complete this project. So stick around. This might be a little bit longer of a video, but I hope you guys find it informative. And as always, if you have any questions, just feel free to comment or reach out to me either on Instagram or Facebook at Scheller Outdoor Living. I always like talking with contractors across the country, so be sure to reach out if you have any additional input or if you have any questions about the process that we did. So we're going to join the project in progress. As we see with this video, this is my employee Byron. He starts out by, we still like to water down the 57 stone, which is a 3/4 inch clean. It helps get rid of some of the dust that comes from the quarry, and the dust kind of provides, in a way, a lubricant, if you will. It kind of pushes the gravel around, and if we wet it down, we get a little bit better compaction. So as you see here with, we're running our reversible plate compactor over it, and we're really, with open graded base, we're really just trying to get consolidation. So that's the term I like to use when we're doing open graded base, is getting that good consolidation of the number 57 stone. Next, we've taken some time and set up our screed rails. This is very similar to doing any paver patio. So we like to do about 1.5 inches of 3/8 clean chip. So this is a wash stone again. You could use a number 8 or number 9 stone, which would be a 1/4 inch to 3/8. I wouldn't go any bigger than 3/8. 3/8 is very common in our area. It's about all we can find. There are some quarries where we can find a smaller stone, but our local landscape supply company carries this, as well as the local quarries in our area. So what we're doing, we're setting up the tile to meet the coping piece that we put on, which is also a porcelain that we've had bull-nosed. So we're elevating that a little bit so that when we run the roller compactor over or get any migration in the gravel, we can also get that down to the level we want, but we want it to be slightly above just to get the water to shed off. So as you can see here, we've had to create a two-way pitch. So the angled screed rail is actually what's controlling our pitch in either direction. So we're taking that down from the step to the corner of the patio. We're actually pitching this patio from that point in 2 directions, because we're going to use a kind of a wood plank look. So it's a 8-inch by 48-inch porcelain. So we needed to have kind of a break for that, so we weren't trying to run the porcelain and, it doesn't flex. So here's kind of a quick time lapse showing the process. Once we've set up the rails, started screeding the gravel, gets us through it a little bit better. We've set up and screeded both sides at the same time. The nice thing about 3/8 chip is it's not like sand. We can let it sit a little bit. We can walk on it if needed. And as you can see now, we're setting up the porcelain and the pattern that we're going to do. One thing about porcelain planks that I would recommend is try to break those bonds into a 1/3 or 1/4 instead of doing a 1/2 bond. This particular porcelain we use from Mirage has a 1 millimeter pitch to the middle, so the water will shed off to the edges. So what we've done is we've done a 1/3 bond, which also gives a really nice natural look, especially when using a wood grain. Notice also we're using a spacer. We'll kind of zoom in on that spacer. You can see what that looks like. This is made by Techniseal. It's a low profile spacer. It allows you to set the porcelain on top of the disc of the spacer, and then also set that disc on top of the gravel, so it has a place to sit. Makes it a little bit easier to slide the porcelain around on the gravel as you're setting them, but also gives a place for that to sit. So we were able to get this laid in just about half a day. on this particular part of the patio. We had pre-cut the 45-degree angle because we knew what we were going to be doing with that section, and that was the detail we were going for. So as you can see, we've gotten that completed. And now we've come back the next day, taking just a small battery-powered blower. And we're blowing off any debris, any gravel or anything that's sitting on the top of the patio from our bedding layer, any dust or footprints or anything like that. We're just trying to get that cleaned up because we are back now to do the polymeric sand. So this process, this is where some people call this a hybrid system. So we're basically building a permeable base. So we have our 57 clean stone, our 3/8 clean, number 8, number 9 stone. And now we're going to be basically closing the joints of the patio and making it impervious so the water will run off using a polymeric sand. So we're not allowing necessarily all the water to go into the joint and filter through the system. We're actually trying to get water to run off. So what we're doing with this is we're creating, this system is creating a area for water to hang out underneath from, especially on this yard, everything drains to the patio. So we have built-in drains underneath this patio so that any water that gets into the base from the ground will then go out into a French drain that we added at the end of the project. Just like a normal paver patio, we're just going to spread the sand out. We're going to spread it out kind of evenly, and then we're going to start sweeping it in. One trick is to kind of go at an angular pattern. This helps with getting the sand down into the joint. This is a very small joint and it's only 3/4 of an inch thick. So we want to make sure we get full depth on the joint. And the way we're going to do that is by running the roller compactor over it. So what we're doing with the rolling compactor, this is a great tool for slabs, porcelain, natural stone to help consolidate that joint sand in the joints. We want to make sure that we're at a low idle. So there's no reason to ramp this thing up and go full throttle. We're basically just trying to get the sand consolidated into the joint. So the vibration from the machine's engine at a low idle can accomplish this for us. And we'll show you here as we're doing this in this video. So once we've finished our first pass with the roller compactor, we're going to sweep in the sand. We're going to adjust any pavers that have moved, just like you would in a normal paver situation. We're going to add sand. We're going to sweep it in again, make sure it hits the top of the joint. And then we're going to do one more pass with the roller compactor just to make sure we've consolidated that sand completely. Once we've done our final compaction, or as I like to call consolidation of the polymeric sand, we're going to do our final sweep and clean the patio off completely. And this is where we'll start the wetting process. So typically when we wet in the sand of the paver patio, we're going to get out our garden hose. We're going to get a nozzle with a shower setting, and we're going to start spraying from the lowest point, taking all the steps the manufacturer recommends. But on this is a little trick that I learned from our Techniseal rep, which showed this in a demonstration that I did with him at a hands-on presentation. So instead of taking a garden hose, we're going to use a backpack sprayer. You can use any kind of pump sprayer if you want to use a 1 gallon or 2 gallon handheld sprayer. I find the backpack sprayer to be much more efficient. But the reason we're doing this is the tile does not absorb any of the water as we're spraying it, similar to the way a paver would. So the paver is going to suck in some of that water. It's going to run into the joint. It's going to dry quickly. And in this case, the porcelain will let the water sit on top of it and keep running it to the joints. So although it's difficult to overwater this particular sand, we don't want to be running water to the joints uncontrollably. So this gives a finer, more accurate watering, and allows you to kind of control how much water is going to the joint. So as we keep that in mind, you can see that we're just nicely, evenly spraying the water over the joints, and we're creating the same effect that we would with the garden hose, except we're getting a lot more accurate watering. Just like with a paver patio, this is a step you do not want to miss. You let that water soak into those joints, and then you want to get any excess water off of the patio and get it cleaned off. So we're going to use the leaf blower again for that. This little still battery powered works great for doing these sand projects on pavers and porcelain. So we've really enjoyed having this smaller, a little bit less aggressive blower. So as you can see here from this close-up video clip, this is how it looked when everything was completed. And I'll throw up a few pictures here at the end to show the completed project, because we were very proud with the way this turned out. This is our first attempt at installing a porcelain patio. There's another section as you step down, you kind of see the step in the video where it goes to another section that we also did open graded base on. So very happy with this project. We have more coming up, and we'll keep showing you guys those and the progress we're making, and any things we're finding along the way that will help us be more efficient and also create a better outcome for our clients. So this particular client was very happy. This patio is operating beautifully, and they enjoy it. And I'm so glad that this worked out, and we were able to provide such a great space for our client. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you let me know if you have any questions. It's always great to hear from other contractors around the country. And if you're a homeowner, these are the kind of steps we go through when we're trying to create great spaces for you and your families. So hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day.